You ready to go there, commissioners?
Yes, we are.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City's Thursday, August 24th, 2023 hearing. In the absence of our esteemed chairman, Judge Matriciani, adding to his lengthy list of chairing city council committees and planning commissions, we are being chaired by, for the first time at the Liquor Board, by our commissioner and today Chairman Reisinger. So, yeah, you're supposed to leave that. Sorry. Yeah.
All that money we made was
So.
paid for food.
Yeah. So, do you have any opening comments, Mr. Chair, or you want me to dive right in?
No, I just want to say good morning, and just bear with me. Thank you.
All right. Well, then, calling the first item on today's docket among the regular items, Mate Spring Garden LLC, trading as Mate Beer. Proposed premises are located at 175 West Ostend Street. This is an application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-903C2 which requires $500,000 in capital investment in restaurant fixtures and facilities, minimum 51% sales of food, seating capacity for at least 75 people but not more than 150 individuals. Applicants are requesting outdoor table service and off-premises catering.
Good morning.
Good morning. So who is the attorney? You have an attorney?
We have an attorney, Mr. Steve Fogelman, so bear with us. He is not here today. He's watching tennis.
Okay. Then, Mr. Chair, everyone will need to swear in then.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to, yeah. Got to be sworn in.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
And what is your name, sir?
Steve Grinke.
And if you guys speak, I don't need to get your names and spell, but until you do, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
So you want to tell us the story, what your plans are? Yeah.
Absolutely. So we,
Sir, can you push the red button? Sorry.
Is it
The
on red?
little thing on the right.
There we go.
Perfect.
Put it on. Thank you. Okay. Good morning. So we were interested in opening, based on an opportunity we saw, opening a bar, and we were going to call it 8M. And we thought about, hey, I was originally from Minnesota. I've lived here in Baltimore and Maryland for the last 35 years. We love the beers from Maryland, Minnesota, Michigan, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Montana. And we're like, this is a kind of a fun concept. We'll serve beers from the 8 states, including Maryland. We're going to call this place 8M. And Jeff Osborne, who moved here 20 years ago originally in Baltimore, and he's a squash pro. He ran the Meadowbrook facility. He goes, Steve, you can't call it 8M. Let's call it M8, as in good day, mate, because he's originally from Australia. And then we ran into the owners at Checker Spot, who have a brewery in South Baltimore, and they've done very well there. They've had a very successful location to the point where they realized they want to expand, and they said, would you be interested in purchasing the existing equipment, which will allow us to open a facility that's even more exciting? And we said it's a great idea. So I live in Federal Hill. I am within walking distance of the facility. We first did our due diligence to talk to, of course, my neighbors, other bar owners, other brewery owners, and ask them, what do you think of this concept? And they said the location is great. You've got plenty of parking. Transportation is not an issue in that location. And I said, okay, hey, let's do some more due diligence and move on with this process. So it's about $1.7 million in total capital. And we really turned it over to Jeff because he's going to be the operating partner. And I said, Jeff, let's talk about what we need to do. So I'm going to introduce Jeff Osborne, let him discuss more about the operation and what our plans are at the location.
So JEFFOSBORNE. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, so our concept is obviously relying on my Australian heritage and us being a little bit unique. We're going to be brewing beers with an Australian twist to it and offer something unique in the Maryland area. So our beers and our food offering. Our plan is to have something that isn't currently available. We, in our due diligence, searching around, the closest thing we can find is out in Oregon that has anything remotely close to what we're doing. So we're excited to bring something new to the area and some new flavours.
What type of food are you going to provide?
So we're going to, we've got some menus here. We're going to do a cross between Texas barbecue and Australian barbecue. So we've got a good mix there to throw in there, including some Australian delicacy of kangaroo sausages, if anyone's game and willing.
How many employees, you're going to manage it, how many
Correct.
employees are you going to have?
So we've got the head brewer and the bar manager already on board, and then we're in the process of 10 bar staff as well as 4 cooks to run the kitchen.
So what's the total number of employees?
So the full-time employees will be 4, and then there'll be 10 part-time employees.
Okay, what about alcohol awareness certificate? Are you certified?
So Steve and I are both certified in the alcohol awareness, and we plan on getting all the bar staff certified as well.
And when do you look at maybe opening up operation? You have any
The
idea?
second week of September. And
Wow.
back to the question of the alcohol awareness, we absolutely understand the importance of not just complying, but making sure the entire staff understands from the leadership and the owners of this brewery how important it is, because we know it's important to our community to follow the rules. This is not going to be a location for younger individuals to go have 12 beers and hang out. It's going to be a location where people are that are interested in trying something unique with an Aussie twist, but to go in this location and just try a new beverage. But we know it's very important to ensure that the entire team, all the employees, are properly trained.
Yeah, and it's not just trade, I just want to add to it, because this comes in front of the board sometimes. The biggest word and message is cooperation with the liquor board inspectors. When they come in, work with them, what they need, so that's what I emphasize on that. Do commissioners have any other questions?
Just one
Yeah, go ahead.
statement. Make sure you know who the community leaders are and have a communication line open with them. That might prevent something from happening in the future.
So
course, thank you.
Ed and I have a long history, and we are absolutely committed not just to the community leaders, but there are also silent leaders in the community, and we want to remain very transparent, show people what we're doing, and make sure that we execute on what we say.
Yeah.
That's important.
Stevie took away some of my speech.
Oh,
I just want to say this to my colleagues on the board. As a council person, I'll try to keep it brief. Steve, where he worked at before, it was a development in Curtis Bay. And what impressed me with Steve was after it passed land use for the development, Steve came to a lot of Curtis Bay community associations for a long period of time. So, you have the credibility, you care, so I just want to pass that on to my colleagues. So, if there's no other questions. Based on the materials and testimony provided today, I vote to approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license and the request for outdoor table service and off-premise parking. Commissioners?
Based on the application materials, the testimony provided today, and the exhibit of the menu that was admitted today, I also vote to approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license with outdoor table service and off-premises catering.
Based on the application file, statements made here today, I also approve the application for a new Class B beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license, requesting outdoor table services and off-premise catering.
Thank you. Good luck with everything, guys.
See you in
Good luck.
September.
Yeah,
Yeah. Good luck.
we will.
Brilliant, thank you.
I close this for the record. Board Exhibit 1, Capital Investment, Board Exhibit 2, Menu.
That concludes this matter before the board. Mr. Catelli has received the instructions on how to submit the documentation to obtain the license that the board preliminarily has approved today. You ready to move forward, Mr. Chair?
Number 2, yes.
All right. Item number 2 on today's docket, Flirta Ave Incorporated, trading as trade name pending. Proposed premises are located at, 1288 West North Avenue. This is an application for a new Class A7 beer, wine, and liquor license under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Article 12-1603C17 and requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages. This license application is subject to some specific statutory requirements, including that the applicant must have entered into a memorandum of understanding and may only sell alcoholic beverages in conjunction as part of a gift basket or floral arrangement.
Your name is?
My name is Brandon Matthew Wiley.
Okay,
Right,
you
we
have to
need-
be sworn
yep.
in.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. My name is Brandon Wiley. We opened up Flirta de Vie, West 1200 West North Avenue in 2018. We were able to have an opportunity to continue the floral business that Mr. Bonaparte had passed on. And so we were able to continue to have something in the community that could represent our community. A lot of times in the West North Avenue area, it's not a lot other than liquor stores, food places. But families and people in that area need to go have those same opportunities that people in other communities have. They need to make sure they have a flower shop that they can walk to, so they can buy funeral arrangements for their loved one, so they can buy gift baskets for their significant other. You know, so churches can have the opportunity to have flowers on Sunday. And so we wanted to continue to maintain that focus and that strength in the community. We also recently we have a new location, which is in Lexington Market, because we wanted to continue to be a part of a new community and also branch out and see how we could effectively be a part of a group business partnership. What we're looking here to do today is we've talked with Ms. Annie Hall, who is the president of the Penn North Community Association, and we entered into an MOU and agreements with her, you know, just to let her know that, you know, this is what we plan to do in our community. We're not selling alcohol out of our establishment, but what we're doing is we're looking for a competitive advantage with our competitors who are most likely in Baltimore County, who can also package wine, liquor, and other beverages along with their floral arrangements. So we just want to continue to add value to how we serve our community and add value to our business this way.
So, Mr. Wiley, is the hours of operation, what's the hours of
Our
operation?
hours of operation are from 9 to 5 p.m.
9 to 5 p.m.?
Yes, sir. And on Saturdays, I'm trying to get my wife to stay open till 2, but she really wants to close at 12.
Okay.
So we're from 9 to 12 on Saturday.
Listen to her. You know, my other question is, are you and your employees alcohol awareness certified?
At this time, I will say no, but we will be. We'll apply for all of those certifications so that we can make sure that they'll know the proper protocols and policies in this area.
Okay, so if I'm correct, and I'll talk to say something to Mr. Blendy, before the license are issued, they have to be.
Correct, there has to be an alcohol awareness certificate before we'll issue the
Anybody?
license.
Any commissioners have a question? Any questions?
Yeah, when did, this must have taken a while because this is new and innovative for Baltimore City.
Yes, sir.
You're the first of its kind in the city, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, and
Yes, sir.
you had to get some changes to.
Yes, sir. I had to get some help.
Yeah, it took a little while for it to happen.
Yes, sir. Took a little while. We just worked with our councilman in the community. We work with our senator in the community to try to work this idea out so that we can stay competitive.
So you can deliver flowers.
Deliver flowers
have a
and
bottle.
arrangement,
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's, yeah, we commend you on trying to do something new and different in the city.
Thank you, sir.
No question.
Okay. Any questions? No? Based on the materials, testimony provided today, with the MOU tied to the license, I vote to approve the application for a new Class A7 beer, wine, and liquor restaurant license, and the request for delivery of alcoholic beverages.
It's a, not, just for clarity, it's not a restaurant license. Sorry, that's a typo on the long
Oh,
docket.
okay.
I apologize for everyone.
So it's
It's
not
a,
my-
it's a packaged goods license off
It's
premises.
not my area.
No, no, error on me.
Okay. Commissioners?
Yes, based on the application provided and the testimony given today, I too vote to approve the application for a new Class A7 beer, wine, and liquor license with delivery of alcoholic beverages to the extent, I guess pursuant to the MOU that was signed by you and the community to the extent that it's enforceable by law.
Based on the application filed and the MOU that will be attached to the license, I approve the application for a new Class A7 beer, wine, and liquor license requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Okay.
Michael Exhibits for the record.
Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate all your help, and thank you
Thank
for
you
your
so
time.
Good
much.
luck.
Good luck, man.
Michael Exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, MOU.
That concludes this matter before the board. Applicant has received instructions from this agency on how to legally obtain submit the documents that are required to legally obtain the license that the board preliminarily approved today. Ready to move forward, Mr. Chair?
I'm ready.
Item number 3 on the regular items, Checker Spot Brewing LLC, trading as Checker Spot Brewing. Proposed premises are located at 1421 Ridgely Street. This is an application to transfer the location of an existing Class D beer license that's presently located at 175 West Ostend Street, Suite B1, to 1421 Ridgely Street.
Hello, I'm Judy Neff.
But you'll need to swear in.
Sure. yeah.
Here is right. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers you can give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you state and spell your full name?
Yeah, Judith Neff, Judithneff.
Okay, go ahead.
So I am owner and brewer at Checker Spot Brewing, which coincidentally enough, the first on the docket is our current location where M8 is going to be moving into. So we've been there for a little over 5 years, renting the property to one of the partners in that brewery. We love the area. I wanted to stay in the area when we were looking to purchase our sort of forever home. And we found our place on Ridgely Street, which is only about 3 blocks away. So it's not a very far move, which is fortunate for us. We stay in the same similar community, so everybody's pretty happy about that. We're very involved with all of our council people and delegates and senators and community associations. I'm actually vice president now of the Carroll Camden Business Association that we're moving to.
So you invested in new equipment, is it larger space?
Yep.
So my question is there going to be a change in management or a change for more staff, or what's the situation with the staff?
No, so right now, it's just a sort of lateral move to a new location. Our lease was ending and not going to be renewed, so it was always our plan to purchase a property.
And
So
what
the
about
idea is to grow, but
regards to alcohol awareness certification, are you alcohol?
I am certified.
What about any of your employees?
They are not officially, I do alcohol awareness training before anybody starts their first day, so we do it in-house currently.
Okay, good. Commissioners, any questions?
None?
You said your goal is to expand. Is it more locations in the future? Just curious.
No.
Just,
This has been,
sell
this has been
more.
enough. Yeah, just to increase production a little bit
Production.
and be able to host some more events
Oh, that's
in the
great.
community.
Okay.
Based on materials and testimony provided today, I vote to approve the application to transfer location of a Class D beer license presently located at 175 West Arthur Street, Suite B-1 to 1421 Ridgely Street.
Based-
Commissioners?
Yes, thank you. Based on the application and the testimony provided today, I also vote to approve the application to transfer location of this Class D beer license located at 175 West Austin Street, Suite B1 to 1421 Ridgely Street.
Based on the application filed and testimony given today, I also approve the application to transfer location of a Class D beer wine presently located at 175 West Austin Street, Suite B1 to 1421 Ridgely Street. Good luck.
Perfect, thank you.
No
Good luck
exhibits.
to you.
No exhibits for the record.
That concludes this matter before the board. Licensee has received instructions on how to legally submit the documents to legally complete the transfer of location that the board approved today. Ready to move forward, Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Item number 4 on today's docket. Coal Project 2 LLC, trading as trade name pending. This is an amended application to transfer location and ownership of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license that is presently located at 1000 East Hoffman Street to 4505 Harford Road. Applicant is also requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
For the record, Melvin J. Kadensky, 320 North Charles Street, representing the applicant. This is a redo from before she was approved, and the problem was it was needed a change in the zoning, needed a conditional use because the license is a BD7, so they went before the zoning board. They were approved as a conditional use in the C1 zoning district, so there's no changes other than the information you before.
Okay, your proffer is she going to testify or she don't need to testify?
No, I don't think she has to, because she's already been approved by the board before.
Okay.
And then it's just subject to the resolution of the zoning board.
Yeah, I just want to give the opportunity. Commissioners?
No,
any
no.
questions?
No questions.
Looks like everything's there.
Okay, based on the materials and proffer from the attorney, letter from the licensee, a vote to approve the amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license presently located at 1000 East Hoffman Street to 4505 Harford Road, and a request for delivery of alcoholic beverages. Commissioners?
Yes, based on the amended application, and in the application, the use permit, the BMZA resolution that is attached in the materials, I too vote to approve the amended application transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 BWL license with delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Based on the amended application and the proffer given by the attorney, I approve the application, the amended application to transfer ownership and location of a Class BD7 BWL license presently located at 1000 East Hoffman Street to 4505 Harford Road, requesting delivery of alcoholic beverages.
Thank you.
No
Good
exhibits
luck.
for the record. Thank you.
That concludes this matter before the board. Applicant has received the instructions on how to submit the required documentation legally required to complete the transfer of ownership that the board preliminarily approved today, which by law must occur within 180 days of today's hearing. Simon Ford, Mr. Chair.
I'm ready.
Item number 5 on today's docket is the applicant here. Have you seen him? Who's- Okay. Shall move it to the end of the docket, or how do you want to proceed, Mr. Chair?
So there's no one here.
For number 5. We can move it to the end. You could postpone it. You could hear it in their absence.
I make a motion to postpone it for the applicant to be here.
Okay. So you want me to move it to the end of the docket, and then if he's not here, postpone it to a future hearing?
Yes.
Okay. This matter will be moved to the end of the docket today, potentially a future hearing of the board. Then moving into the next part of the docket is violations. Item number 1 on today's violations docket, Yang's LLC trading as Broadway Liquors. Licensee is located at 1645 East Baltimore Street, holding a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. Licensee has been charged with 1 violation of the board's rules, that is a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors for selling alcohol, stemming from 1 incident on June the 29th, 2023.
Okay. So you're going to proffer
Abraham Hurdle, on behalf-
testimony from anyone, or you just going to do it?
Yes, Chair, I'm going to proffer, we would
Okay.
at this time admit, and certainly hear the circumstances around the violation before offering, you know, a request for leniency or a plea for mercy in that situation.
Okay, I got you. Commissioners have any questions or
None.
statements?
What's your name again on the record?
Sorry, Abraham Hurdle on behalf of the licensee at the Broadway location.
Commissioners need to hear any testimony from the inspectors or anyone, or?
Yes, who was the inspector regards to about the violation?
Myself, Inspector Ward.
Mr. Thopper? Yeah.
You guys want to swear in?
So,
They have to swear.
testify, swear in?
Anybody else? Is it just those two?
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay. So this is the second violation I see here with the 2 years. So what I'm asking the inspectors, when you came in, were they cooperative with you?
Yes, they were.
They're cooperative? Chief, you have anything? Yeah? Okay. Commissioners?
Let them make a statement.
Yeah, go ahead and make a statement. If you could tell us what happened.
You want to make
today.
a statement? Oh,
Pretty much, I'll go on my report, but
Yeah,
we
that's what I was
it
going
was
by.
plain and simple. The cadets went in, they made the purchase and came out. They didn't ask for ID or anything. We just went in and did the violation. And like you said, they were very cooperative.
that's what we need from the licensee. Okay, you still have any questions?
Yeah, has any changes been made internally to make sure this doesn't happen again? That's my concern.
My apologies, Commissioners. May I ask the inspector one question?
Yes, go ahead.
Inspector, were you there that day?
Yes.
Do you know if the cadet went in and then came out and then went back in again?
Offhand, I can't recall. I just know they went and they came out and they made the purchase.
He did. Do you know why that was, ma'am?
Because he didn't have enough cash, so he came to get extra cash.
How much was the total purchase price?
$21.78.
Yes.
Did you give him more cash?
We gave him another $20 bill.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
So, that was my question. Has anything changed internally to make sure that this doesn't happen again? And are you guys submitting on the violation or not?
Sure, if, we are admitting to the violation in question. If I may give some background, it's my understanding that this is the first violation for this kind of licensee body, and I do apologize for the confusion, it might just be on my side. It's my understanding that the entity in question has had this license for some time, I want to say 5 or 6 years. I believe that Mr. Robin, who is one of the co-owners, has only been a co-owner for, I want to say, about 16 months, maybe 2 years, because I know that I did the change of membership from, I think, Miss Hang Yang, I want to say was an exclusive member, to Mr. Robin, I want to say at either majority or about 50% membership. So this gentleman has only been running the store for about a year or two. So I don't believe he has been subject to any violations in the past, which isn't to say that the corporation hasn't and the store has not.
Yeah, Counselor, I'm just reading what I see here, that the transfer was back in September 8th, 2017, and the first violation was November the 4th, 2021.
And I'm not disagreeing with the transfer. This was a membership change, which I think, and I may have apologized,
So history is done by the LLC.
by LLC. Perfect.
Correct.
So the membership change wouldn't show up.
Correct.
In this record. So, Mr. Robin, how long have you had the store?
He's got to be sworn in if he's going to testify.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So almost, let's say, 2, if not more than 2 years in my name.
Has there been a violation while you've been an owner?
No. Before, while we were in the process, when it was not in my my name or when I was not running the store, it was just before that, like a month or 2, it was the violation when she was handling the whole store. But once I take it over, it's never been the violation.
That being said, Commissioners, we don't want to downplay the importance and significance of violations, whether with this corporation, this location, or these operators. I have spoken to the client, and we've, over the past few weeks, come up with an employee handbook that we're putting in place. And one of the things we've changed is instead of, the liquor board rule is that I think effectively there has to be one person on premises who's alcohol awareness trained. What we're doing is we're working with Jimmy Philippidis to get the entire staff, all staff trained. And one thing that we've seen, and I actually saw 2 weeks ago in Anne Arundel, is that there was, as part of liquor restrictions on licenses out there in some instances, is that staff members have to be trained within a certain time period. So while the current staff, we're going to be trained in the next probably 2 weeks, we're going to target having everybody who's new going forward trained within 30 days of when they start. We're also looking into a point-of-sale system that has the ID reader in place. When I did speak to the client, I think it was a nephew of his that was working that day, which, I'll be honest, in my experience, 95% of the violations for underage service tend to be kind of family members filling in. And in this case, it's my understanding that the person came in, was asked for ID, made something that said, oh, you know, I come in here all the time, stepped out, came back in, and then was sold the goods. So they were asked at one point, they did come back in and were sold the goods without the ID, though.
Just to add to that, and we'll go ahead and vote, is that I own a bar, and it's really the responsibility of the licensee, okay, either if he's not there or she's not there, to train the employees for rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
And especially to be cooperation with the inspectors, which he was. So, do you have any more questions?
I have no other questions.
None.
None?
Is there-
Okay.
If I could just echo
Is
that
there anything in
sentiment.
response to
My
what
client
was
agrees
stated?
it's their responsibility to absolutely be trained and train their employees. And they were indicated as being cooperative with the inspectors. It's something that we do try to make sure that all of my clients are.
Yeah, there's rules and regulations they gotta follow by. Go ahead.
You guys have any other things to comment on in response to what they've said today?
Nothing further.
No?
Okay, nothing
You're
further.
good? Okay. Based on the materials containing the charging documents and the proffer from the council, which he admitted guilt of the violation, I find that the violation Z has violated violation of Rule 4.01A, sale to minors, on June 29, 2023, and I impose a fine of $1,000 to be paid within 30 days.
I agree that I agree that there has been a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors on June 29, 2023. And I also do impose a fine of $1,000. And how many days?
They have 30 days to pay. Yeah.
Based on the proffer given by the attorney and testimony given by the inspector, I find for a violation of Rule 4.01 letter A, sales to minor, on June the 29th, 2023, and I impose $1,000 fine.
30 days to pay, Commissioner?
Could we ask for 60 days? Would that be possible? For time to pay the fine?
Is there a reason?
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
that it's a
We
challenge
can
for
work
small
with that,
businesses to
yeah.
come up with the money sometimes.
Commissioners all agree with 60 days to pay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Can I close this for the record? Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Washington.
That concludes this matter before the board. Licensees received the instructions on how to pay the fine levied by the board, and as noted by the board, licensee has 60 days to pay. And that concludes this matter. Shall we move forward, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Item number 2 on today's violations docket, BDU Nepal LLC, trading as Bristol Liquors. Premises are located at 501 South Broadway, holders of a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, and are charged with one violation of the board's rules, excuse me, to wit, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors for selling on June the 29th, 2023.
Good.
Commissioner Abraham Hurd on behalf of BDU Nepal at 501 South Broadway.
Okay. Looking at this, that was June 29, 2023, sell to minors, is the cadets, what's that, Weitzman and Stanley?
Stanley's here, yeah. And I guess,
Do you have anything to add to that?
how did, Mr. Hurdle, does your client wish to deny or admit?
We admit.
Okay.
Great.
Then all of the inspectors are still under oath, Mr. Chairman, if you want to hear any testimony.
Yeah, so just a report, go ahead.
I stand on the report now.
Stay by the report? Okay. And there was no further incident? They cooperated?
Very cooperative, yes.
Okay, good. Commissioners?
Is there any statement that you want to proffer?
I just have a couple questions for the commissioners, if I may, and then we can go to my side and go from there.
Good.
Wonderful, thank you. Inspectors, you've been to this location before?
I have not.
No? Oh. Well, I was going to ask if they're normally cooperative and friendly. I guess not.
I can testify to that. They are.
They normally.
They've always been very cooperative, and whenever
Can you
there's
introduce yourself, so. did
Chief
you-
Chris Amalis, Baltimore City Liquor Board, I've already been sworn in.
Okay.
They've been cooperative in the past, and they actually very cooperative, BPD. Whenever there's crime in the area, they're, BPD always runs to them for camera footage, and they have it accessible immediately and very cooperative.
Okay, good.
That's all I have for now.
Has there been any new policies implemented after this occurred?
I believe all staff are or are in the process of being retrained for alcohol awareness. There is an employee handbook that all staff follow. This is a client that I've represented for 10 years. They used to be at 507 South Broadway. I think Mr. Harvey's sat through probably a handful of hearings with these gentlemen on transfers and any number of issues. We've changed from an A to a BD7. I think most recently, I think Commissioner Reisinger sat through a hearing on an expansion for this location, which is, it's a long process. They take it very seriously. This isn't something that's kind of done casually. Mr. Onta, who is the named licensee, is there, got to be 60, 70 hours a week. And, you know, this is a family business. They take it serious. This is what provides, you know, the payments for the mortgage and pays the bills. If I may, can have him sworn in, because I don't believe he is sworn.
Yes, go ahead.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you just state your name?
Dhruva Unta.
ONTA, you have it?
Yeah, I
Wonderful. Mr. Onta, you work basically every single day there, is that correct? And you work the late shift too,
Yeah.
not the easy early shift, right?
No.
On the date in question, were you in town?
I was outside the store.
You
So then I came back immediately.
So you were in town on that day,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
were out of the
yeah.
store? Okay. When you found out what happened, what was your response?
So the guy, I asked the guy, yeah, he already, you know, all got evidence training. Everybody have the certificate. So that time this happened because, you know, the guy, you know, they told me, I'm really sorry. That looks big, the guy looks like big.
What I can convey to the board, and this is the second client who's told me that the cadet was a big guy. I guess it's one of these gentlemen.
I think.
They said he was a big guy, looked like he was much older. That doesn't excuse the issue. They're working on adjusting their policies. I've been in the store often, do this expansion project, which has been going on for a couple of years, and what I can tell you is there's probably the same 5 or 6 people working there all the time.
I told the guy, you know, why are you telling the guy? Because he looked like more than 35 years.
We're gonna try to card everybody, going forward.
That's the most important thing. Like my
Absolutely.
colleague had asked, you are retraining.
Absolutely.
And you deserve a vacation or travel, so I think it's really emphasized that the employees understand that they have to card people, you know, when they're serving them. So, Upgrade Institute, retraining, any more questions?
No more questions. Sounds like they have a policy in place.
Okay, because it's, basically, I think, well, I'm looking here at the report, the last time was 2015, was 8 years ago, that there was a violation of 401, and he's had it since 2014, so it's been 8 years. So what I'm saying is based on materials contained in the charging documents and the proffer from counsel and testimony, which also includes the admission of the violation, I find that the licensee has violated Rule 4.01, sales to minors, on June 29th, 2023, I impose a fine of $500, 30 days to pay. Okay?
Based on the violation report and proffer made by counsel and testimony given today, I also agree that there has been a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on June 29th, 2023, and I impose a fine of $500 with 30 days to pay also.
I find for a violation of Rule 4.01 little a, sales to minor. This happened on June the 29th, 2023, and this is based on the proffer given by the attorney and the document presented by the inspectors. And I also attach a fine of $500 for said violation.
Also 30 days to pay, Commissioner?
30 days to pay,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank
Call
you.
exhibits to the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Washington.
That concludes this matter before the board. Licensees received instructions on how to pay the fines imposed by the board and any fees that are incidental to it within the time period as ordered by the board. Ready to move forward, Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
All right. Item number 3 on today's docket for violations. We Out Here Enterprises LLC, trading as Uptown Liquors. Premises are located at 2115 West North Avenue, holders of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, and are charged with one violation of the board's rules, to wit, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, stemming from an incident on July the 20th, 2023.
For the record, Melvin J. Kanansky, 320 North Charles Street. This would be an admission. What'd you do?
Anyone want to testify?
No, I'm going to, well, I'll have a mitigation. They're not going to testify.
Okay. Any commissioners have a question?
None.
Okay. Based materials contain.
Let me just, I'm not the one to interrupt you. But, you know,
Yeah, if you,
it's a new, they've just been in business just a few months. They were new. They were, Miss Anita here, just were not familiar. They should have been more familiar. I'm not making an excuse. They're going to have everybody retrained. They're going to make sure they card everybody. And if they see me or you, and just card everybody. It's easier that way. And I would just proffer that, you know, this was, of course, an isolated instance. They've only been there, you know, for a few months.
Yeah. The report, it says that it was transferred to the corporation back in March of 2023, and then it was July 20th, 2003 with the violation. So are you telling me that you're retraining because it's responsibility of the licensee for the law, rules, and regulations of the liquor board? So being this is a liquor store, are you retraining your staff, and are they alcohol awareness certified? You got sworn in?
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
So you heard the question.
I'm sorry, can I just make sure it's your name?
Conroy Paul Singh.
Okay.
You heard the question about having your staff retrained, and that's, you indicate to me that's what you're doing at this point here? Or has it already been done?
Absolutely. You know, we've been there for a few months. I'm the owner. I'm alcohol certified. We make it a mission to ID everybody. You know, we do. We've had a lot of, you know, back and forth with customers. You know, they'll come in. If they don't have an ID, they'll leave out. Sometimes what happens is, like, we'll be watching on the camera. They'll have somebody come in, buy it for them. There was an altercation that we had with people that were buying it for minors. You know, she had an altercation with somebody, like no, like not a physical one, just a wording. And you know, we make it a mission, you know, to ID everybody. But unfortunately, that day we just happened to slip up.
Okay. I guess
Questions from commissioners?
Yeah, I guess our concern is it's just so new, and you know, if this happens again and again, the fines get higher and higher, and we get suspended. So just it sounds like you're on top of it.
Yep.
But be more vigilant if you can. Okay. Is there anything that you'd like to? You're gonna just submit on the
I would
report?
submit, and also add, because that used to be my district, and as soon as they switched over new ownership, I was doing inspection, and I can attest that they do ask.
Mhm.
Just, they just didn't ask that day.
It slipped.
Good.
Okay.
No questions?
Nothing to say.
You done?
Just want to correct my name. And my name is Anita Prettyman. It's Anita Leon in the document. But it's
Okay.
Anita Prettyman.
And could you spell your last name? right?
Sure, it's Singh, Singh.
Okunwara Paul?
Yes, sir.
Leon is my middle name.
Okay. Thank you for correcting that.
Finish?
Council will so stipulate, let the record so indicate, and proceed.
Okay.
That's great.
Thank you. Based on materials contained in the charging documents and the proffer from the council, which included the admission of the violation, I find that the licensee has violated Rule 4.01A, sales to minor, on July 20th, 2023, and I impose a fine of $500 and 30 days to pay.
Based on the testimony given today, apart from made by counsel, the violation report and documents in our packet, I agree that there has been a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minor, on July 20th, 2023, and I impose a fine of $500 with 30 days to pay.
Based on proffer by the attorney and the charging document attached to this case, I find a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minor. This happened on July 20th, 2023, and I impose a fine of $500 with 30 days to pay.
And call exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Washington.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
That concludes this matter before the board. Licensees received instructions on how to pay the fine imposed by the board for the violation today, in addition to any attendant fees that go along with the violation. Shall we move forward, Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Calling then item number 4 on today's violation docket. Doc's Liquors Incorporated, trading as Doc's Liquors. Premises are located at 1501 North Fulton Avenue, holders of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, and are charged with 2 violations of the board's rules. Both are violations of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors. Both stem from an incident on July the 20th, 2023. The first incident is alleged to have occurred at 8:25 p.m., and the second incident is alleged to have occurred at approximately 8:35 p.m.
So, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Acting Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the licensees. To my right is Mr. Michael Gebru, one of the licensees, and to his right is Mr. Kabram Sengal, the manager and person who was on duty at the time. This
So
this
you're gonna-
will be an admission as to both, but I will, in mitigation, ask the board to either merge or hold the violations concurrent.
Can you speak a little higher?
I'm sorry.
Volume?
This will be an admission as to both, even as to the cadet who is not here, but at the end, I assume the board will accept the admission, and we will ask the board to consider to merge the 2 violations into one.
Okay,
Whoa.
whoa, is that a signal, sign? Okay. Do the inspectors like to hear your testimony?
I think Inspector Tudhope has to swear in.
Would you, are they going to possibly speak?
Possibly.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Go ahead. You could microphone. You stay by your report?
I do stand by reports, yes, sir.
Okay. Stay by the report?
I stand by my report also. I have something to add as well.
Yeah, go ahead, come on. You would use the microphone so we can,
Chairman, I consider this very serious violations. Just to give you a little insight, we went in, cadet made a purchase, and then when the task force came in, told them what they did, and I like to give a speech and tell them, like, hey, what you did was wrong. You know, you can't do that. You need to ID everyone. And once I did that, the employee assured me that he's going to ID after that. We stepped outside, could see right in, another cadet went in, and he purchased the same alcohol. Not only he didn't have a chance to put it back up, he purchased the same alcohol. And to me personally, they wasn't thinking about the welfare of selling to minors, they was thinking about wealth. I don't think that's acceptable for Baltimore City, I don't think that's acceptable at all.
So you're saying it was two separate violations?
Yes.
To serve, okay. Any questions from the?
And it was within 10 minutes,
Yes.
10 minutes, yes.
in the same bottle.
The same, but
The
they
same
never put the
bottle.
alcohol back up. They sold them second to that with the same alcohol that we brought back in.
Thank you.
Counsel, you have any questions for the witnesses?
According to the report, the first two miniatures were Crown Royal Apple Whiskey, and the second two, were they also Crown Royal Apple Whiskey? I thought I
Yes.
saw some other flavor. Okay, I'll address that on mitigation.
Okay.
He's here to explain what happened.
Go ahead, counsel.
No further questions.
Any questions?
No questions.
Any questions?
So, Mr. Chairman, you have two options here. You can take his mitigation testimony now, or you can make your ruling on whether you found a violation or multiple violations occurred, and then take mitigation before you impose the penalty. But if, counsel, wishes to give mitigation testimony, it's the board's decision when they want to hear that testimony.
Yeah. I'm going to do the decision.
Okay.
And he can go ahead and do the mitigation.
So just the findings before imposing any penalties? So you would make the findings on the facts before you impose any fines or suspensions or revocations or whatever the penalties are?
You have to bear with me. I'm a lay person, I'm not an attorney, so I.
Try to keep
but-
the commissioners on the straight and narrow, Mr. Chairman.
Just bear with me, there's a lot written down here in regards to the situation, and this is, I've never seen this before. I've been here for 2 years, but they had just a quick history, violations to minors from 2016, 2019, 2020, and 2022. There was the violation in 2023, which was 2 violations of serving minors. And I just want to say that the licensee has, trying to find it, yeah. With the licensee, you have to, trying to get it together, that there's rules and regulations having a liquor license. It's a privilege. And going by this, it seems like you violated that privilege with those violations with serving minors. And you're gonna need to get your act together, retrain, like you heard some of the other licensees that were before us, regards retraining your employees and having them alcohol certified. And also, I throw it out there that, you can't just, this is me speaking, you just can't, as a liquor store or bar, you just can't say, at the end of the day, you're looking at the Z count. You're responsible. It's a privilege. So, based on all that,
I guess, Mr. Chairman, it probably would be first step that you would want to do is make a ruling on the 2 incidents and whether you find the violation and not talk about the penalties so that he can speak on mitigation.
so just go ahead. Well, I'm going to base it on the 2 violations.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Based on the materials testimony contained into the charging documents and the proffer from counsel, which included the omission of the violation, I find that the licensee has violated Rule 401A, sales to minor, on July 20th, 2023, and I impose.
No imposing yet.
Oh, you have a question?
No impose, don't
not
impose
just
yet,
yet.
until after he does a mitigation, so.
Okay.
So, and is that 1 finding or 2 findings? Did they violate the rule 1 time or 2 times? Okay.
Fine. So you want to mitigate?
And
Well-
based on the proffer made by council today, the reports that was provided, I too find a violation on that day, 2 violations, the 8:25 PM and the 8:35 PM, a violation of Rule 4.01A sales to minors on July 20th, 2023. And I guess we'll wait for mitigation before we make it.
Based on proffer given by the attorney and the charge of documents, I find for a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minor, on July 20th, 2023. Also, there's 2 violations on that day, and I find for each, the one that occurred at 8:25 PM and the one that occurred at 8:35 PM.
And so now you would take mitigation testimony from before you impose any fines or penalties?
From Mr.
From Mr. Prevas, that would be appropriate.
Just bear with you, I'm out of turn.
No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I've represented Mr. Michael Gebru for some years now. Mr. Kabram Sengal is a manager. He's been there about a year. He was not previously alcohol awareness certified, but you can see from the docket on page 2 of the computer printout at the top, 8/9/23, alcohol awareness expires 8/2/27. Kabram Arafani, that's his middle name, and it should say Sengal there. So immediately after this incident, Mr. Gebru made sure that his relatively new manager, Mr. Sengal, got alcohol awareness certified. In addition, I have recommended to them that they purchase a card reader, and Mr. Gebru will state on the record that he will in fact do that. So we're going to take some additional steps. Again, I represented him for quite some time. The prior incident, Mr. Gebru's, his son passed away about 3 years ago, and then his wife passed away last year, and he was working on that last incident, and he was just totally blown away and not thinking properly for obvious reasons when that occurred, and he let his guard down. There was a COVID incident, and I really can't recall. It just says violation of other laws. I'm sure I did that hearing, but I can't recall, but it wasn't a cadet incident. It must have been some type of COVID-related violation, and then back in 19 and 16. So with the mitigation that's in effect, I'm sorry, I neglected to mention, I asked Mr. Sengal about what happened. After the first incident in which he let his guard down, he, like some of the other licensees here, said the cadet looked older than what he believed. And we are also going to implement that you are going to card everybody, Mr. Sengal, going forward, even if they look like they're 99, okay? That way you can't fail. Don't rely on your guesstimate, okay? Anyway, after the first incident and the inspector gave him this speech, he described to me he was a deer in the headlights. He was just, it hadn't happened to him before, and he was totally blown away, and he was no good. It's kind of like if somebody was just in an auto accident, they shouldn't be getting back in their car driving. Their senses aren't there, and that's the way he explains it. And he's been sworn, and he can answer any questions that the board had. But he said he was no good after that happened to him. So he wasn't asking anybody anything.
But the reality of it, if I may say, is that when he came back the second time, within, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, he served them again. And it was the same alcohol, same price.
Right.
So, go ahead.
But that's his explanation of how and why that happened, because it's not an issue of that he doesn't care. He was mentally and emotionally not.
Can he tell us that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
Come on.
it sounds like a complete disregard.
I was very nervous. I don't
Wait,
even.
For the
Say that
record,
again?
your
When
name.
the second time was happened, I was just nervous. I don't even.
You're Mr. Sengal?
Yes.
Can you spell your last name, actually?
SENGAL.
And your first name?
KIBROM.
You were just what? Say that again?
Just nervous. I was nervous.
So you just had,
First time, the second,
for the
I'm
question,
talking
wait for the
about the
question.
second.
okay, but you just had enforcement come in and tell you that you did something wrong and that you need the card, and then 10 minutes later, that wasn't at the top of your mind? That's my concern.
That's what I'm saying. I was nervous, the second time it happened. I was not in my mind,
Okay.
I was very shocked, that second time. I
Okay.
was busy also, very busy. People coming.
Yeah,
going out.
we're just concerned with making sure, there's a reason why we don't want you guys selling to minors. And if you're selling in certain communities, we're going to make sure that you care about those communities and care about making sure you don't contribute to some of the social ills that comes from that. And it seems like it's not at front of mind when you do things like this.
Exactly, yeah.
I have no more questions for you.
None?
No questions? Okay.
Ms. Carter.
So we finished the mitigation, or how's that working?
So now you've heard the mitigation testimony, and you are free to impose no fines, whatever fines you see fit. You have already found that the violation of the rules has occurred, so now you're free to impose any penalties you see fit.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Blendy. Yes, based on the materials testimony contained in the charging documents and the proffer from counsel, which included admission of the violation, I find that the licensee has violated Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on July 20th, 2023, and I imposed a $2,500 fine and given 30 days to pay. Also, for the second violation, same day, 10 minutes later, approximately at 35 p.m., based on materials testimony containing the charging documents and the proffer from the counsel, which included admission of the violation, I find the licensee has violated Rule 4.01A, sales to minor, on July 20th, 2023, and I impose a $2,500 fine, given 30 days to pay, and also I'm adding a 3-day suspension.
When would you want the suspension to be imposed?
Whenever they can issue it.
Your call.
September 1, 2, and 4.
You want to do Labor Day weekend?
Yes. So September what? When's Labor Day?
The 4th is the Monday, and it's a 6-day license, so Sunday they would be closed anyway.
September 1, 2, and 4.
Okay, 1, 2, and 4 good with you? Okay, September 1st, 2nd, and 4th.
So to be clear, you impose a $2,500 fine, 30 days to pay for one incident, a $2,500 fine, 30 days to pay for the second incident, and a 3-day suspension, September 1, 2, and 4?
Correct.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners?
Yes, yes, we already ruled on the violations, but I guess in response to the violations, I do impose a fine, I agree with the chairman, of $2,500 for the first violation of Rule 4.01A, the sales to minor, and for the second violation that day, I also impose a $2,500 fine for the 4.01A sales to minor violation that happened 10 minutes after, 30 days to pay on both of those violations. So that's a total of $5,000. I also agree that something more stringent. I understand the proffer made by counsel, and I do encourage that card reader be installed, because I know you said at some point in the future that wasn't really, you didn't give us any dates or that it was ordered, but I do encourage that the card reader is installed. But I do agree with the 3-day suspension in this case, given the multiple violations in the past, and I agree with it being done on Labor Day, starting on September 1st.
So the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th?
2nd, and the 4th, and Sunday there have to be closed, correct?
Correct. Okay, thanks, Commissioner.
Based on the charging documents, and profit given by the attorney, I find for a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, which occurred on July 20, 2023. There's 2 violations on this day, and I find for violations of both. One happened at 8:25, and the next one happened at 8:35. And on each violation, I find $2,500 each, and I also will suspend the license for 3 days, and that suspension take place on September 1, 2, and 4.
Like all exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Tuttle.
That concludes this matter before the board. Licensee has received instructions on how to pay the fines and any attendant fees that the board imposed today, and Chief Inspector is instructed to impose the suspension that the board put in for September 1st, 2nd, and 4th, which will suspend the entirety of the privileges of the license for that day.
Yes, go ahead.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes this matter before the board. So then, item number 5 on today's violations docket has been postponed and shall be scheduled at a future hearing of the board, which brings us to item number 6 on today's violations docket. Shiva Incorporated, trading as Club Paradise Liquor. Premises are located at 1300 to 02 Lawrence Street. Holders of a Class A7 beer, wine, and liquor license charged with 1 violation of the board's rules, that is of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, stemming from 1 incident on July 20th, 2023.
Commissioners, Abraham Hurd on behalf of Shiva.
Is he going to testify, or are you just going to do the
We're going to admit to the violation. We would proffer at that point.
Okay. So, go ahead, are you saying that, are you admission or denial?
We admit that
You
there was
admit?
a sale of
Okay.
minors violation on the date in question, and we would turn it over to the inspectors to give whatever testimony they feel necessary at this time.
Do you have anything you want to testify on, or you go by your report?
I stand by my report. They will also cooperate.
Good. Okay.
Briefly in mitigation, if I may. We do have, in this case, the client did get the employee in question alcohol awareness certified. I believe it was only a couple of days ago, so it's been about a month since that date, but they have been trained. They're not planning to train them. They have retrained them. This is their new alcohol awareness certificate. The board's welcome to keep that copy. We can always get duplicates. It is my understanding that all staff have either been retrained since the date of the violation or will be in the next 30 days.
Okay, good.
Again, there's an employee handbook that's being instituted indicating the training. And like so many, they're looking into the fancy point-of-sale systems that allow for the ID scan in this situation.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions from me.
None.
Questions? Okay. Based on the materials, the testimony contained in the charging documents, and the proffer from counsel of any admission of guilt of the violation, I find that the licensee has violated Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on July 20th, 2023, and I impose a $500 fine and 30 days to pay. Commissioners?
Yes. I also agree, based on the violation report, the proffer made by counsel, that there has been a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on July 20th, 2023, first time violation. I too impose a fine of $500, 30 days to pay.
Based on the proffer given by the attorney in the charging documents, I find for a violation of Rule 4.01A, selling to minors, which occurred on July 20th, 2023. And I like the idea that you were fine, you had a violation, but you moved quickly to
Yes.
certify your employee.
That was good.
I give you credit for that, sir.
No.
However, I still fine $500 for the violation and give you 30 days to pay.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Yes.
Life exhibits for the record. Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Washington. Board Exhibit 2, alcohol burning certification.
That concludes this matter before the board. Council's received instructions on how to pay the fine imposed by the board for the violation they found today with any attendant fees, which must be done within 30 days as ordered by the board. Shall we move forward, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead.
Item number 7 on the violation docket. Wawa Liquors Incorporated, trading as Mel's Liquor. Premises is located at 1813 Pennsylvania Avenue. Holders of a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, and is charged with one violation of the board's rules, to wit, a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, stemming from one incident on July the 20th, 2023.
So, are you Mr. Ki Jong Lee?
Yes, sir.
He needs
Okay,
to
you're
swear.
representing yourself?
Yep. Oh, sorry, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to remind you needed to swear it, but you were on it.
Got to be sworn, yeah.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Go ahead.
Yes. I'm this,
You want to put that microphone down, so, yeah.
Please push the button. Thanks, Inspector. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm starting in 2018, and this Wawa liquor store starting. This and then no mistake. This a long time, no mistake. This and then information. This
Go ahead.
the police come in there. This 2 minutes. This Jack Daniel honey. This try this come in there. How old? Show me ID first to talk to that. Him police say no selling this drink that. How old are you? 23. Oh, show me ID. I'm 23. Pennsylvania Avenue, young people too high this trouble, big trouble. I'm 23. Why selling this drink there? Not selling drink there. My wife say this and then, sure, 23, 23, sure, the mistake there.
So do you, Ms. Plenty, I know we do it to profit, but do you admit that the guilt of violation that you served a minor?
Oh, this is first time.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I just wanted for the record.
Yeah, my mistake. This ID check first there. My customer, this Pennsylvania Avenue, 90% old people. Young people, 100% the ID check. Him say this is lie. So, talk to 23.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
There you go, thank you.
Thank you.
So, do you stand by your report, or you have anything you want to add to?
No, I stand by my report, sir. They were
Okay.
cooperative.
Okay, thank you. I just want to say that, do you have, any questions?
No.
No.
I just want to add that there is no history of violations. This is your first time. And you've had it since 2019. So, based on the materials and testimony provided today, containing the charging documents and your testimony, I find that the licensee has violated Rule 4.01A, sales to minor, on July 20th, 2023, and I impose a $500 fine and 30 days to pay.
Sure.
Based on the report that was submitted in your testimony today, and that this is your first violation, and it looks like you had some good letters from our office on responsible selling in the past. I do see that there was a violation of Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on July 20th, 2023, and I will impose just a $500 fine and 30 days of pay.
Okay.
I'm glad you added the letters, I forgot that. Commissioner?
Based on the charging documents and testimony given by you, also the documents that you presented showing that they tested you several times and you passed.
Yes.
However, I find for a violation on Rule 4.01A, sales to minors, on July 20th, 2023. And for that violation, I find $500 with 30 days to pay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Michael Exhibits for the record, Board Exhibit 1, violation report, Inspector Tuttle.
And that concludes this matter before the board. Licensee is receiving the instructions about the fines imposed by the board and any fees that are attendant and has 30 days to pay as ordered by the board. Shall we move forward, Mr. Chair? Items number 8, 9, and 10 on the violations docket have all been postponed and will be scheduled at a future hearing of the board. And then is Uzo here? No. So that was, I'm going back to the one that he was originally not here, number 5. So pursuant to what the chair had stated earlier, that matter will now also be postponed to a future date of the board when the licensee can appear in person. Therefore, Mr. Chairman, that concludes all the matters that are on the docket before today. Do you have any final words, or do you want me to read the adjournment? Or
Yeah, Mr. Brudley, if you want to read the adjournment, appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Then the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City shall stand in recess until Thursday, September the 6th. No, the 7th. That's why I got my calendar out. September the 7th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. here in room 215, City Hall, 100 North Holiday Street. We good to go, Mr. Chair? The board stands in recess. Thank you, everyone.